As I'm sure you guys already know, Farming Sim 22 is on its way. Alright, so let me tell you the little story before we get into the news here. I was probably one of the first people to see this news, at least from the public release side of things. I had an alarm set for 4 a.m. Don't ask how I knew it was gonna go up at 4 a.m. So I woke up, and as I pulled my phone up to turn off the alarm, the notification pops down that they just posted it. So I click the notification. I see no one has even liked this thing yet, and I read something along the lines of what was it? I read, Farming Simulator 22 is coming. And I was like, well, I guess there's no time for speculation at 4 a.m. And I went back to bed. I messaged like Austin and King, and I was like, hey, yo, teaser trailers dropped. And I went to bed because I was tired. So here we are, probably being one of the last people to give you guys news, even though I gave the news to the other people so that they could give you the news. But anyways, let's get into it. So if we go to the website from the Twitter, the article here gives us the trailer, as well as some information here. It tells us what it'll be released on: PC, Mac, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Stadia, whatever that may be. We got a CGI trailer to show off some new features. And they gave us a lot of screenshots, guys, which is fantastic. I'm glad that they did, because we've been waiting for so long. I'd love to see more than just, oh, here's a couple pictures. Here's one. Or here's a teaser trailer and nothing else. I'm glad that they're giving us a little bit more information, because we've taken longer. And yes, I'm leaning down, and don't mind me. So, we've got Let the Good Times Grow, prepare new crops, new maps, new machinery, new brands, and more. Oh, and it's getting snowy too. The addition of season cycles is also included, as well as other features to be announced soon. 2 new maps, plus an updated Erengart map, however you pronounce it, will allow for different kinds of farming operations. So, essentially, what they're getting at is we have seasons now stock in the game, which is fantastic. And we also have 2 new maps coming out, plus an updated Erengart map, which I'm excited about. We've also got engine upgrades. So, Farming Sim 22, it's going to be hard to say that. Farming Sim 19, I'm so used to saying that, is based on the Giants Engine 9 and will come with a variety of improvements like more realistic AI behavior and richer worlds with graduated reverberation of motors, gear selection, and tonal variations depending on the load. The sound shifts towards more realism, just to give you an example. And then they go into complicatedly explain that performance will get better and slot usage will too for console players. So, make sure you know those things. One thing I want to touch on is, while the sounds might sound better, we don't have any proof of that right now, but I'll take their word for it. I'm sure we'll get a release on that of some sort at some point. Visually, I don't think it looks any better. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Farming Sim 22 visually looks any better than 19. Maybe the texturing, maybe the ground crop texturing, those sort of things. Maybe that's a little bit better. I'll give it there, the ground texturing. But other than that, I don't see anything amazing about this. The skybox, nothing amazing. The lighting, nothing amazing. It's all 19. This is all exactly what 19 looks like. So, I'll leave it up to you whether that's a good or a bad thing, but I will note that we've given them an extra year to develop the game and it looks the same. But as long as it functions better, I'm okay with that. So the first thing I want to show off is the variation of seasons. We've got, on the very, very left, I assume spring, then we got summer, then we got fall, then we got winter. Spring, I think, looks pretty good. Spring and summer, very, very, very similar. Honestly, almost indistinguishable. The summer is just slightly darker. Fall looks fantastic. Winter looks fantastic. I'm loving all of that. I think that all looks really good. We've already had seasons, but I'm hoping that Giants can just do it a little bit better with native support in the game. One of my issues, though, I'm going to be honest. Here's the thought. What do you guys think about this? I actually saw this come in. I saw this somewhere else, too. Someone saying this. Does the ground seem shiny to you? Does the game the game overall just seemed a little bit too shiny. I don't know if that's the screenshots of the actual game. I don't know if they've done anything to these screenshots, but it seems a bit shiny. Here, let's look at this. Look at this. Look, shiny. It's a little too shiny. Maybe that's just my thought. I mean, it'll look great. Like, Giants, I'm not complaining necessarily. Like, that's fine. This will HDR amazing, which is great for me because I HDR every single one of my thumbnails. But it is pushing the shiny side, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So moving on, we've got a picture of cattle, and that cow looks shiny too. So y'all are seeing this, right? Like, things are just kind of shiny. Honestly, the cattle look okay. I don't think that they're amazing. I don't think that they're terrible. I hope that they're able to actually break out of their pens, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, that's not happening. But a pickle can dream, can't he? Then we've got the Massey Ferguson looking like it's running a coon cedar. And this is kind of interesting. So we got FS22. I can't. Q4, I think, is what that says. I don't have it zoomed in, so I can't really read it. Let me. FS022 GG, is that what that says? Or CG? CG, maybe? That could just be a reference to this trailer, or it could be a reference to a variety of different things. But looking at this image here, I think it looks pretty good. The ground texturing looks really good. Those trees on the left kind of look rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just noticed that, so let's look elsewhere. The tractor looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like 19, and 19 is the best it's ever looked. But, you know, having 22 come out, you would have hoped it would have looked even better, just because that's natural progression of things. But, you know, I've already talked about how this just looks like 19 to me, so we'll move on from there. Then we've got a Fent in the field doing, I think, probably sugarcane or corn or something. I don't know. It's doing a thing, and this ground looks very muddy. We actually see some mud tracks off to the right side of the image and standard tracks right behind the tractor. One thing I'm noticing is there's no dynamic ground from what I'm seeing here. That is very disappointing to me. I am very disappointed to not have dynamic ground in Farming Sim 22. I understand it's a difficult thing to do. I understand limitations. I understand everything. And I'm not saying I'm mad about it, but I am saying you got an extra year to make this game. There's got to be things game changing. Otherwise, you're going to make your community very upset that they had to wait an extra year. And that's just the honest truth. All right? I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the honest truth. If you don't implement something absolutely game changing, they're going to be mad that they had to wait an extra year because they could have just got it a year ago. That's the honest truth. And one could say, yeah, but Seasons is game changing. Not really. We already had it. It was a mod. So I wouldn't really classify that as game changing because we've already had it. But I digress. This is just the first news that we're getting. I'm sure we'll get more. And maybe they have implemented some game-changing stuff, and we just haven't seen it yet. So moving on, now we've got a big old John Deere, probably 9R, pulling a large cultivator. We've got a new texture for this cultivation. It leaves in some of the stubble into the cultivation, which is kind of nice and also kind of not. I'm torn on this texture. To be honest with you, a lot of the other textures look really good, and this one looks really fake. So maybe a little bit of tweaking to it. Maybe it's just this angle. I don't know what it is about that texture, but something about it just doesn't feel quite right to me. But the other ground textures and stuff, phenomenal. I love the way that all of those look. Also, again, not complaining about the shiny, but maybe it's a little too much. Like this tractor looks like it's a plastic toy. It looks like it's a plastic toy right now. So, you know, do with that info as you will. All right, we've gone through the screenshots that they gave us. Now we're going to watch the teaser trailer. And if you guys want to see additional screenshots that Giants have sent me in full image, then stick around and I will show you those as well. But here is the teaser trailer. Snow, very nice. Q4. Okay. So we got pretty much nothing out of that. Aside from information that we've already known, you know, we've got the autumn leaves here hinting at us that seasons will be a thing. And if you didn't get that, then we've got the snow on the truck literally saying, look, seasons is going to be a thing. But moving on from that, it's really just a truck and a hat. We can look at the background and see that we got a red barn, a windmill, in the first image here, and we could say that, okay, that means that we're going to get an American map, and hopefully a good American map, one based in maybe the Midwest. That would be fantastic. Of course, it's all speculation based off of the fact that there was a red barn, so do with that as you will. Then moving on, we've got the house now. This house is more of a gray and white kind of color. It's got snow on the roof, and we can't take these graphics as expecting this to be what the game looks like because this is a CGI trailer. This is not a gameplay footage trailer. Although if that's what the snow looked like in the game and stuff, I would not complain in the slightest. But yeah, there we go. FS22 teaser trailer. Not a whole lot to it. I'm sure we'll get more stuff here in the future. All right, so we've gone through everything on the website there, but we've got some additional stuff that I can show off with you guys. I would assume, otherwise I don't know why they would give it to me. If I can't show this, I apologize, Giants. So, we've got some pictures here, so let's see what they are. This one you've already seen. I'm going to go through and find ones that you haven't seen, so stick around for a second. All right, so what I'm going to show you are the seasons images before Giants cut those down, if that makes any sense at all, before they put it into the one image. So, let's start out with, we'll start out with spring. So if we pull up spring here, this is what spring looked like in the full image. We get to see the full image now, where this right side was originally winter, and this left side was only spring. Now we get to see the full thing in spring. And that looks pretty good. There's that red barn. So I'm guessing that red barn maybe has some significance here. We seem to be back in kind of a draw, kind of a little creek area, if you will. There's a little bridge running over it down at towards the left. Grain silos farm and everything off to the right. And it looks decent. These images have something about them. And you guys, I need to preface everything that I'm saying with it is still very, 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 very early in the game development. You know, we're like probably 6 months or more away from the release of this game, so there's a lot that they can do, a lot they can change, a lot they can improve yet. And I think one of those is visually, it looks like a cartoon. It looks like a cartoon. I don't know if that's just these images for some reason. I don't know if it's the lighting messing with some stuff. I don't know what it is, but look at the barn and the grass and everything there. It's a straight up, this is a cartoon. So I hope that something gets rectified with that. If these are in-game screenshots. If they're renders, not as big of a deal. But next we have summer. So as we can see, summer got a little bit darker, a little bit less bright and vibrant. It's more muted. It's more consistent across the shadows to the lights. I do like the shadow falling on that field out there from the trees and stuff. I do like the shadows falling in here. I think they could probably be a little bit more prominent, but they're not bad. They're not bad. The sky looks okay. I would love to see things like really bad thunderstorms be implemented into the game as well. I hope some sort of natural disasters, drought, with seasons being involved, blizzards, droughts, floods, even tornadoes, which is not going to happen, but I would love to see those sort of things. Dealing with Mother Nature is a huge part of being a farmer, and it's something that we lack just a little bit. So I hope that we get something with that. But yeah, summer looking pretty good, looking decent. Now we'll move on to fall. Fall, I almost complimented this. Almost. So, fall, looking okay. Looking okay. I like the fact that there is fall. I like the tree by the barn. I like... That's about it. I really don't like that all of these trees are the exact same color. That when they're different types of trees, even that doesn't happen. There's a variety, there's a variance in that leaf color when it loses its chlorophyll, and these are literally all the exact same. Even the ones all the way in the back are the exact same. So put a variety in that fall leaf kind of color and texture and stuff or whatever, and then I will absolutely love this image. But if you don't put a variety in those, I'm going to have a hard time saying that that looks good. It looks okay, but it doesn't look great. So maybe update that. Winter is actually looking probably the best out of all of them, to be honest with you. Winter's probably looking the best out of all of them. Almost the best out of all of them. There are some things here and there, and I'm not going to claim to know the answer to this, but I will bring it up just to make sure that it's a thing that is thought about. First of all, the snow looks fantastic. The shadows on the snow looks fantastic. I love all of that. We've got snow on the barns, on the roofs, on the top of the silos, and if this is an in-game screenshot, this is going to be amazing. I love all of that. I hope it doesn't snow inside the barns with it. If this is a Giants product, I'm sure it won't. Looking at these bushes up in the front here, I don't know what kind of bushes these are. I don't know if they're bushes that would stay alive through the winter. Maybe they are, but in my experience, bushes don't stay alive through the winter, so yeah, probably wouldn't have those being green, but maybe these ones do. I don't know. I don't know what kind of bush they are. So that's just my first thought. It's not the end of the world, though. Overall, this looks pretty darn good. I would like to see it actually snowing. This is a clear day after snowfall. I want to see actual snowfall, because I'm curious if that's going to look any good, or if it's going to look like the rain in Farming Sim. Also, guys, I just wanted to zoom into this image here and show you this, which I thought was interesting. That is a gas station. That is a gas station right over there. There's a house right over there, a tower sitting right here. That grass almost looks green right over there, so let's not talk about that. Maybe that's not even grass, but holy cow. We got the barn here. The barn looks pretty good. Got the ladder up the back. Just trying to get a nice close-up look. So here's that little ravine, and we couldn't see this through the trees previously, but this is a road. This is a bridge running right past here. This goes off into, it looks like it pools out into a larger little area. This may be a pond, or maybe that creek fills into an actual little river of sort. Continuing around, we're doing this in winter because there's less foliage and we can see the most. We've got the grain silos. They look okay. I like that it's got snow on them. We've got this barn over here. I like that it's got snow on the top. Overall, looking pretty good. This thing is really huge. And then cutting this way, let's see, we've got a sign there of some sort. We've got a building over here of some sort. Got a building here, and a building here. So that tells me there's some sort of town right back here. There's something blue right there, probably a bin of some sort. But yeah, that is everything that I can pick out. Unless we want to look down here at the bushes or at the Farming Sim logo, that's everything that I can pick out here. Oh, hey, you know that building that I was talking about? Yeah, it was this one. So, yeah. Let's not talk about my stupidity there. All right, guys, that is my full announcement, review, breakdown, whatever you want to call it, of the Farming Sim 22 release information. We will keep an eye out for further information throughout the year and the coming weeks and months here. I'm looking forward to seeing more. Once again, I hope I wasn't too harsh in my judgment and analysis of what we've seen so far, but it is still early for a lot of things to improve and change. One of my biggest things is I'm very disappointed to not see any dynamic ground or dynamic terrain. There was no ground deformation, and that is extremely painful. I was really looking forward to hopefully seeing that. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, I don't know. But, you know, I think that would have been the thing that was groundbreaking enough to make people be okay. It's fine that we waited an extra year. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen the thing that makes me say it's okay that we waited an extra year yet. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I do see that, I'll let you know, and you guys can let me know what you think. But until next time, my name is Jake, otherwise known as TheFormalPickle, and I will see you all later.